Hello and welcome to Tuesday Night Torg. I don't know how much that the one on there's like an editing frame and a live frame, so I can make all sorts of little changes and things. Welcome to Tuesday Night Torg. I put Jenny on the spot. I'm sorry. She asked a question right as I was switching over. We are live from the Iconic Production channel. Thank you to everyone who's joining us. It's so good to see everyone in the chat. And yes, our very own Kowalski is sadly not with us tonight. The High Lords have sent a plague out of Orosh to take him out for the night, but he'll be back next week with both Vim and Vigor, I assume. I'm not actually sure what Vim is, but sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot there. It just was like, I should answer this question, but I've already hit live. Let's see what happens. So we are starting off. We are in the Infernis gamble. Last week, the group opened up in Mediarist with a attack on a attempt to create a Tharkoldian infiltration into the Nile Empire side of Istanbul. They fought that off with the aid of Genevieve, a mysterious storm knight from the Cyber Papacy, who oh, thank you, Phantom. Knew I could count on you. And that is how Ben normally plays, with high energy and great enthusiasm. So, when we last left off, you guys fought off the attack. Genevieve was able to alert you that, hey, there are things going on, that there's someone bringing strange, like heavy machinery into the Nile Empire side of the city. And the only thing they know is that they're trying to negotiate a deal with the Delphi Council. She warned you to be careful. We also ended with a alert from Chad. I like Kaylee's response to that. That somebody was burning the tree. And then there was a lot of screaming and the line went dead. So, starting off, I believe that Kit, you wanted to make sure that some things were established right here at the start of the game?
Yes, it was brought to my attention that I didn't read some of the rules before, so I have changed.
I wasn't going to even bring that up.
Well, I think
Rules are made to be broken.
I promise I can read. Typically,
It is true. I have witnessed her read many times.
Thank you.
At least once.
At least once.
It's all hieroglyphics. A lot of pictures.
I don't see the problem. So I have taken a new perk and a new spell, and I'm very excited about one of them. The 1x4x9 that has to be cast at sunrise, which I think will come in handy considering how many ones you have all seen me roll a lot.
Yes. Also, with your new perk, you get to re-roll any natural 4 or 7 on the die, thanks to your divination and your approved numbers. So, would you like to give us the roll here at the start as the sun rises?
I would love to. Thank you. I rolled a 3.
So, spend a possibility right off the bat.
Yeah, because I really want this to work at least once. So I'm going to do that. This is going so well already.
This is exactly the same kind of thing that Brother Block stayed up all night for.
Okay, together it's a 19, which, oh gosh, sorry, I'm good at things, I promise.
You are great at things.
Which is this, plus 6, which is my alteration needed to be a 10, and that puts my alteration way higher than that, so it was a 21.
Awesome. So that's an outstanding success. So on an outstanding success, what does the spell do?
Okay, on an outstanding success. Gosh, this spell is so confusing to me.
Man, Mr. Furious and Jenny, you guys are both so honest. Mr. Furious, I wasn't going to out him, but you were the rules lawyer, and that is not a negative at my table. I appreciate all of the rules lawyers.
Yeah, I like being kept in check to an extent, but in this case, this is a good one. Okay, so when I roll a 1, which again, as everyone knows, I do constantly, I can roll another die and add to it But on an outstanding success, it means that if the second die roll is a 4, then I can roll a third die and add to it. But if like I roll under a 9, it's a minimum of a 9.
Okay.
And I can also, if I roll a 1 on any die roll, not just the first die, then I can start the re-roll process.
Nice. Excellent. So this way your Molotov cocktail will at least land away from you.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Here's
Awesome.
So.
Well, when you pass that rules bar exam, certified organic, I'm giving you a possibility for that. We will all cheer you and raise a glass to your new Esquire status. I assume that being a rules lawyer does provide you with an Esquire status, which is now how I will refer to Mr. Furious, Esquire, as well. So, what's the plan? You have to go to the Gunveli Orak, the bar, today to meet up with the voice of the headless. Also, someone is attacking Chad, which just makes Kaylee smile every time I say that. So just know that I'm going to be saying, sorry, Ben, you're not here. So, yeah, Alistair McPherson, Esquire. See? Just pass that bar exam and when we run the next B team game.
Bill S. Preston.
Esquire. All right, so what's the plan? Now, Kowalski said he had Tharkold business to take care of. You don't know what that means. That could be anything from boiling a sheep's head to going back to that rooftop and
Boiling the sheep's head?
I was going to say, and, stealing some of seeing if any crystals survived, and maybe getting a canteen of that sweet pustulence. So, I will turn this back over to you. Chad is on fire, potentially. He could be dead. I'm just saying. But also, Ben is taunting me and says I need to do the voice, which I will do if you guys go there. Otherwise...
Ooh.
We should absolutely
Definitely.
split the party even further. Since we're down 1, that I think would be the wisest thing.
Yeah, I think we should all go in completely separate directions.
Right.
Okay.
It's like, I'll go shopping, you go to chat. Not Delilah for some reason.
She can go pay off my debt.
You do have to be there by noon today.
Yes, and it is
Sunrise.
It is sunrise.
sunrise.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to say that after discovering this really interesting looking sword, which is I'm imagining as a in the style of like a Turkish sort of traditional blade.
Yeah, like Tolwar, scimitar, something cavalry.
While he still wears his impeccable suits,
Yeah.
Zorba has started embracing a little bit more of his Turkish heritage, and now has a ornate like
bejeweled belt.
Like they kind of like hold
to hold his sword along with his tuxedos and a fez.
And that's a delight.
So
I also need you to roll. Just don't worry about it. I just need a willpower or a spirit roll. It's probably fine.
hey,
Having
willpower.
occult tech kidney stones. That does seem like a very Kowalski thing to be doing.
Okay, well that's gonna be spirit. You said
Yes, or willpower if you have it.
4.
Cool. I have made that note.
Yeah.
So, what's the plan, Storm Knights?
Okay, so we need to be there by noon.
Yeah,
Do you want to go hang out with Chad first?
I like how everyone's like,
we got.
Chad.
Yeah, let's go.
He is the chattiest member of this team.
Well, I'm not. Part of me wants to see, like, if it cut out because he got burned, is his spirit still around? Because he was just possessing that doll.
No, we need to go.
All right.
Check this
Yeah, we can go check out.
We can, if the doll is burned, we can definitely like build him a new body. Like he can be the $64 million Chad.
Yeah.
We can
Rebuild him.
We have the
Zork can
technology.
requisition that $64 million suit for it.
Better, stronger,
So
with a like deeper, like maybe a baritone voice this time.
earlier today, Ben said that I should be his voice, and I was like, "Oh, sure, no problem." And I think that Kowalski at this point would say, "If we had a tiny doll that was like alive, we could probably go viral, you guys. Like, think of all the views we could get. So I think Kowalski and Block.
Well, Kowalski's not here, Block.
I know he's not here.
Okay.
I know he's not here.
Okay.
So his BF, I think he would want me to choose go to Chad.
Thanks, Mr. Furious. Says an alto voice is my best stall voice. Thanks, I appreciate that. All right, so as you guys get to that part of the city, you can see that there is a large amount of smoke coming from the block that you left, Chad, where the Nightmare Tree was. And you can see that there is a large number of Nile Empire military. They're not preventing people from getting close, but they've kind of cordoned off the area to allow fire vehicles through. And Kit and Delilah, what you guys remember is like the smoke definitely seems to be coming from the area where that tenement building was.
Zorba, could you retroactively get us some like air? Not me, but the rest of you, some things where you can breathe in the smoke.
That's not very fun.
You get to do it once per act, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I will do it.
You're gonna requisitions.
Oh, the smoke will be fine. I'll heal you. Just a little smoke.
If you don't want to do that, then I can try and sneak in because I don't need to breathe.
Oh yeah. That's and you're not that fun.
This is a fire. What? What do you need a fire?
I don't know. What's the ancient Egyptian word for moth? Is it kitten Canaan? Because I think that feels like a solid translation.
Yeah, if you look it up. That's actually the etymology of it was from my character.
Yeah, it's a weird, timey-wimey, Jeremy Bearimy sort of loop. All right, so Kit has offered to go in by herself. Does anyone else want to go with her, or are you guys going to stay back and see what comes out of it?
Is it a lot of smoke, or could I like put something over?
You could get something over your mouth and nose to kind of mitigate the inhalation.
I'm gonna do that.
All right. So then, as Zorba sits there, kind of hand resting on his new tulwar, and you have one of them too.
Oh yeah.
He had one of the blades, yeah. And Brother Block is there standing with Zorba. I would need stealth rolls from the two of you.
It rolled a computer's roll and got a 24 on my roll, which is an 8, a +8 to my 7 in computers because I'm pretty dumb. So 15 in computers. What I want to know is there a water source nearby? Be it a fire hydrant or fountain or pipes.
So here's the fun thing. You pull up your map of Istanbul, and what you find is there's not a lot of fountains nearby, but there are a lot of underground cisterns. And in fact, they seem to, a lot of them seems to be connected by underground tunnels as well. Let me get back to you real quick, Brother Block. What did you guys get?
What skill is stealth?
Dexterity.
Okay, cool. Then I got a 7.
Nice.
So my stealth value is a 16, and I rolled a 17, so +4, 20.
Okay, you turn to ask Delilah how stealthy you are, and she is gone.
And I shouted my question.
You have shouted your question into the wind. Several people kind of look at you weird. You can see there are people kind of huddled on the sides of the streets, breathing through rags that have water in them. There is a timey sort of fire truck that is spraying water on the building. And so two things happen. Delilah, you can give me a find roll, and Kit, you can give me a willpower test.
No.
And if you don't have willpower, it's a spirit test.
Okay.
I mean,
Fine.
Is she trying to be not spotted?
no.
Okay.
I have close call, so play when you would be spotted by guards, wandering creatures, or other foes.
If you would like to spend that will keep you from being revealed.
But what?
It will not help the willpower test.
Okay. What if instead? Because I don't want to just get a 5 on my willpower test, which is annoying because I have a 10 in spirit. Yeah, I'm just doing a possibility on this one.
All right. I will let you know that the
Boring things up front.
that's right. The DN for this is a 14. It is a hard test. What did you get on your fine roll?
So that's mine, right?
Yeah.
I got a 5.
Okay. So something is going on here. You can't exactly see who started the fire, but the sword at your side is sort of thrumming. So what's your final test there? Or do you need time to compose yourself, Jenny, while I can go to further block? Beautiful.
I just want to say what just happened.
Okay.
So my spirit's 10.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh, spirit roll, no problem. Rolled a 5, not great. But then, so I spent a possibility and I rolled a 4, but I just took that thing that said like, oh, you can re-roll stuff.
Yeah.
And my re-roll was a 3. So I think that still have to be a minimum of a 10. So it was a 15. So my spirit gave me the spirit of 12.
Okay.
So all that was pointless.
So, I love the enthusiasm. Kit. Oh, Brother Block, what did you want to do with your information on the sisters?
Was wondering. Well, I would have just told Kit right away, and then maybe with some alteration and some help, you could redirect the flow of the water from underground to hit the fire.
You guys are communicating here, but here's the thing. When you go to open your mouth to respond to Brother Block, you, instead of your voice and your words, what comes out is, "It's about time you guys got me! That doll burned while ago!" Chad has temporarily jumped into your body. You are already dead.
That's great.
Did you say I'm already dead?
Well, you are already dead. Right, you're a mummy.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Oh, she's like Firestorm, where Ronnie Raymond and Martin Stein exist in one form.
You can have a possibility because that is a deep cut.
Oh, Mr. Furious brings up a good point. You add things. Oh no, it wasn't the 1x4x9. It was the
The other one that you took.
numerologist.
Yeah.
Good thinking.
All right. You hear Chad's voice, slightly raspy, slightly a little drier, come out of Kit's mouth. She looks it's that look right there. You are in control.
Oh, okay.
You are not Chad. Chad is just sort of temporarily hitching a ride inside of Kit.
Okay.
Oh,
Guys, we got to get out of here. Those creepy dudes with the masks with they look like goat faces. They came and set fire to the tree. Said something about not letting those meddling kids get through. Why are you all looking at me like this? Oh, damn it.
Okay, he would be so lucky.
Is that what she said?
Yes. So I feel like we didn't like that tree to begin with. We've got Chad, and we don't need to put out this fire, right?
Yes. By the way, if you want to concentrate, Chad's memories are available to you.
Oh, yeah, I want to do that.
What would you like to know?
What What's it been like the last few days?
When you concentrate on it, you literally see like it kind of, you know, Chad swinging on the branches of the nightmare tree, kind of jumping down, doing a couple laps, doing some doll push-ups.
Kit is just rolling her eyes this entire time.
Sitting next to the face that, you know, was screaming and like talking and like doing that kind of like Wilson thing from Shipwreck or from Castaway, where he's filling in, like he's talking to the tree as if they're responding in anything besides agonizing screams. A couple of times he gets brave enough to kind of go into the entrance of the nightmare tree, and you can see like firelight at the far end, but every so often he'll hear like a deep like drum beat and goes like it's almost adorable, kind of skittering out and climbing up. And then these people with goat masks that look exactly like the Nabateans you fought come out. They set fire to the tree.
Come out of the tree?
Come out of the tree.
Okay.
They say the Storm Knights cannot be allowed to discover where to pass through the tree at this time. We have already done what we came to do. And one of them, with the very elaborate goat ram's mask, goes back into the tree. The other one set fire to it. And it's not like regular fire. Like they're cutting their hands. Blood is going up the torch to intermix with the fire. And then when they're done, the last two Nabateans turn to each other and they each disembowel the other one.
Yeah.
They fall to the ground. And you hear in your head, yeah, it was really, really uncool.
Okay, in this case, maybe we should keep the tree from burning if it's still
No,
viable. It's gone.
It's gone.
Okay. So, bad news, guys.
Oh well.
Is Delilah? Delilah. Hey.
Hey, Chad. How's it going in there?
You know that point where too many people try to go through the door at the same time? Those were the comments, the Chad comments that were like trying to push their way out from my brain.
So I think Kit would really like to find a new home for Chad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do get like the strangest craving for this weird. You're not even sure what it is. Like it comes into your mind as this little tiny. It looks like a bison or maybe a bull, kind of a thing. It's weird. You have this like craving. Yeah. Anyway, Dr. Mobius's men are starting to patrol the area they're going through. They're making sure the citizens are okay. Maybe not gently. Brother Block, you and Zorba, you can see that there are more of Mobius's men coming in.
We should probably scarcify ourselves from this place.
Oh, righteous word, man. I tried to convince my English teacher, this is coming through your earbud, that runded was a word, because if I thought I runded down the street, then therefore I runded down the street. Got D.
Yes, let's find a new home for Chad. Preferably.
I'm fine. Fine.
Nope, we're getting you a new home.
I mean,
are there any like stray dogs around?
Yeah, it's Istanbul. Sure.
What kind of willpower?
Listen, man, I've been called a dog a lot.
To just hunt him into.
I do think we should put him in something that can talk, but maybe not talk a lot. Yeah.
Dogs seem like they can kind of bark-ish. We can ask him questions. You know, 1 bark for yes, 2 barks for no.
Well, that actually does sound nice.
That's all we need to know out of Chad.
Whoa! Chad is not okay with this. I've just spent the last...
Chad, bark once for yes if you're okay with this.
Okay, what'd you get, Brother Block?
So I did really well. I got a roll of 33 on the computer's roll, so that's a 10 plus my dismal 7. So that's a 37 to find a toy shop, because I assume that's exactly what he wants to be inside.
You do find it's not
Or puppets. Istanbul has a very famous puppet festival, and it might be happening right now.
Would a what luck card make that happen?
I feel like you were so invested. Yes, I will allow it. There is, what luck, introduce an element into the environment that helps the heroes. An unseen ledge that stops the fall, a water truck near a scene of a fire, which are already here, and so on.
A tiny puppet.
A parade of puppets.
I will allow this to be part of the puppet festival. You can see that there are not here. You would have to go back by by the bar. You could probably find a puppet.
Oh, great.
To go interact with. They do give you wings. Yeah. So, as you guys make your way back, you do come across one of these parades, thanks to Brother Block and Kit. And No, come on. I've been a puppet for nearly a year, and let me tell you, Pinocchio lied.
But this time you can choose your puppet. What's your favorite puppet here that's not my body?
I would like you to give me a persuade roll. What's your charisma?
Solo. 6.
Why don't I persuade him?
Oh, I rolled a 19 though. So that's a 12.
Well, that's good, because Chad's... Ooh! Karazhan the Shadow Puppet. All right. So you actually
the Kukla Festival, K-U-K-L-A, and it is actually real.
I did not doubt you for a second.
So technically, if this is all true, it's now November.
Or they're doing a mid-year one because of how lucky we are.
Did it late for COVID? You know.
Yeah.
Oh my god, these are terrifying.
Are you looking at the shadow puppet?
No, I'm actually looking at the Kukla puppets.
Yeah, that's what you get.
Ooh.
All right, well,
Wait,
yes.
Ben's at home. He has all kinds of time to Google that and figure out which one he likes.
He kind of looks around and he picks. He's like, listen, if I've got to pick one. He looks. He's like, I want that one. And Kit's arm kind of shoots out, and it's one of the weird like clown puppets that has the big round head and the little tufts of hair on the sides and the big ruffled collar around. And yeah, like, this is no picnic for me either, princess. But the real question is, which one of you is going to put your hand? These are all like hand puppets.
I mean, like, he controlled the doll by himself. Wouldn't he be
Yeah,
able
but
to...
the doll had legs.
Wait, why can't you choose a puppet that has legs?
There's no puppets like that in this festival. They're all like...
They're not like marionettes?
No, they're not.
Well, there's all different kinds, but I will say this. Could I put him on the bottom of my hammer like a golf club cover?
Yes.
Yes.
Chad is now just your hammer.
Yes.
No, he's the mouth on the end of the hammer.
All right, listen. You got to find a better body for me.
We're gonna fit right in.
Otherwise, I'm coming back. Do we have any? He holds up one of your hands like this.
You are not coming back.
You're gonna find me a better body.
But yeah, I'll use my other hand.
Okay.
He promised myself.
He goes. The child who was carrying that puppet freaks out as the clown puppet turns around and tells him to drop it.
Unused puppet.
No, of course not. Chad. What part of Chad would make you suggest that he would pick anything normal? All right. Well, you guys, after all of this, you do find yourself outside the bar, the Gunveli Orak, and you can see that it does say closed for private event.
I go around to the side door.
there are rather large men carrying in wooden crates that have the big heavy ropes. Oh. The boss is upstairs. He said to be expecting you. And they just carry the crates in and like let you pass.
I stop off at the bar, whether there's someone there or not, on my way up. Help myself to something nice, and then head to.
All right, again, there's that mirrored ceiling.
With a full
martini.
I toast through the mirrored ceiling and then head up to talk to the voice of the headless.
Stefanos is still not here. Like you haven't seen Stefanos really since you got him fired. Maybe not you. Maybe not you. That's unfair.
We got it.
The twin. Oh, what were you gonna say, Ben?
But I'm a little less worried about Stefano because he was the one who told me about Genevieve being in town.
Yes.
So he's got someone else looking out for him too.
Yes. I will allow that. So when you get up there, the twins kind of nod. The one on the left, the gentleman takes out his pocket watch, cutting it rather close, aren't we? Zorba? What's the
It is not yet noon.
sister opens the door. I appreciate you, Mr. Furious.
Noon is not determined by the clock, but when the sun is highest. Don't pay attention to the numbers.
So this is the first time Delilah and Kit have come up here. Oh no, because you're right. So the door opens up
the
again.
twins and kept the brother block from
That's
breaking
true.
the glass floor.
The glass floor.
Last time.
And
Whether we
at this
keep it
point,
from
you
doing
see
this
something
I'll try.
scuttle across the floor and climb up onto the pedestal. And you can see that at this point, the head in the jar now has like 6 little mechanical legs that have sprouted have been attached to the base, and a pair of pincher
Like a toy
pincher
store.
hands.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the voice kind of clicks, and you can hear the clicking noise, and the speaker starts to emit static, and then, good, Zorba, you have returned, and you have brought your allies. I take this to mean that you are amenable to our agreement.
Indeed.
So, I will provide you with a task to perform in Darkhold. You will do this. I will provide you with a easier way into the city, one that you can use to come and go at your leisure.
And my debts are cancelled.
That remains to be seen. You must return the item to me.
And what item is this?
There is a techno-demon who serves. Darkhold is a strange place. One is promoted not through merit or talent, but through the ability to dominate those around them, which often leads to the stupidest but most brutish members rising to the top. Strangely. And you just kind of see like the thing hisses and a large gout of steam comes out of the speaker, and the 2 little hands kind of like loosen it and tighten it, and then the clicking noise starts again. There is a... You will find him most interesting. In fact, he requested you by name. There is a leader in Darkhold. He is not the leader of the section, but has managed to accomplish and accrete a large number of techno-demons, despite it being human.
Impressive.
One of the techno-demons, I believe you encountered one of them last night. Yes, an alpha by the name Patches.
I believe it was Snarf.
Ah, so that is the one he sent. Well, Patches also works for this man. He calls himself the Last Turk.
But that is manifestly untrue.
Many of us claim things that we have no right to. But this Patches has a large drill crystal that holds all of the torment that this Last Turk inflicts on everyone who comes to his table. I would like you to kill Patches and bring me his drill crystal. That will erase your debts to me.
Is killing him necessary? Or can I just return the crystal?
If you can find a way to remove a crystal embedded in a techno-demon's heart without killing him.
I have stolen many hearts. It is not a problem.
There's this kind of wheezing, like hissing boiler noise that kind of comes out of the speaker that you realize is the head laughing.
I do not like that sound.
Do we have an agreement?
Very well.
I need only one thing from you, Zorba. Place your hand atop the jar.
Is that entirely necessary?
All right. Hey, what is your spirit or willpower?
It is 6.
Okay, so a couple of things happen. You definitely feel something poking through your mind. It's probably okay. However, the voice of the headless does two things.
Is he doing some kind of test? Is he performing a test?
He
of some
is
kind?
performing a test.
He failed at that test.
Just opponent fails?
Opponent fails. Unless it would be fun if I didn't. You know what? It would be fun if I did. We'll let him succeed.
So two things happen.
Mhm.
He definitely implants in your head the directions to get through the border. And it is, in fact, something Brother Block was very close to doing.
Smashing through this glass ceiling.
It is through the cisterns.
Oh.
There are a large number of cisterns underneath all the ampersands. It's good to see you tonight. Sorry, it's a old fan of the Horseman show. It's great to just have him on the channel. So, yeah, the cisterns are connected, and you actually found it. Like, he implants a map in your mind that takes you underneath the blockade, and will take you up into the city. And actually, it has several exit points to work through Istanbul's ancient cisterns. He also implants another thing in your mind that you and I will talk about. Another point.
Excellent.
Wonderful. He also directs you to where you can find this Last Turk.
All right.
It is just well, you'll see it when you get there. You know how to get to the Last Turk.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Do I, from this, know who the Last Turk is, or have any visual of them?
No. As far as you can tell, the voice of the Headless has never actually met the Last Turk.
Okay.
Now, I have made one deal tonight. Is there anything the rest of you require?
I would like to ask you a question, voice of the headless. Perhaps it is personal, but do you sing?
Do I sing?
You sing? You chante, music? Do you sing? Because I would think it would be very high, like Frankie Valli, because it's all in your head voice.
No, but before Mobius betrayed me and left me in the ruined state that you find me, I was once an accomplished violist. And someday I will play the viola once again on the grave of Mobius.
I was making a joke at you because you're just a head, but okay.
I understood your joke. One does not need to be telepathic to read the thoughts of the surface of a mind so shallow.
Yes, well, most people are afraid of the deep end.
You hear from below and behind Brother Block.
He mutters to himself, like, oh, I'm not good at taunting. I am a holy fool.
You are a holy fool. Thanks to who did the holy fool recommendation last time? All right. Well, what's the plan then, guys? If this is over, then our business is concluded until the real crystal is in my possession.
So this like claws and clicking are new. Can I like roll something to see if I learn anything about what's happening here?
Do you have science? Or science with an exclamation mark?
No, but I do have mind.
You can give me a mind roll.
Great. It was an 8, which means it was a 9 total.
Do you want to spend a possibility on this one?
No.
What you note is something new has happened. He seems to be.
Now he has claws.
He now has claws and legs. Kit, how are you feeling about this whole thing? Or Delilah, how are you feeling about this whole thing? I do that every time, don't I?
A little creeped out.
All right.
And it sounds like he needs. I am suspicious that he needs the stone thing for himself.
That is a fairly good assessment. He is not. He has that sort of villainous hubris where he just doesn't think you guys are smart enough to put anything together. So the fact that you picked up on that, good job. Yeah. And there's also that fact that there's a lot of large boxes being moved into the area.
I was curious for a very split second if we could put Chad into the voice of the headless, but then I figured he already has a good home.
It's probably his.
And his
house.
mind's way too high.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chad's mind is not high enough to attempt a possession.
I have an idea before we leave, and I probably wouldn't be able to like signal her to do this, but maybe if we stall around for a little bit, Delilah, you could go invisible and find stuff.
Like we can. Zorba's probably gonna make us stall by stopping at the bar.
All right.
Make is, you know.
He's probably gonna stall himself and
We can definitely make another kitchen-esque distraction while you walk around invisible.
Well, he is psychic though. He's just gonna. I think he can just know she's here, whether she's visible or not.
Can he be psychic while talking? Like, can he only if he's focusing on it? But if he's distracted, he won't know that.
Challenge him, Zorba. Challenge him to a game. Distract him.
You guys, if you would like to use a trick to make it more difficult for him to detect Delilah, I would allow that.
Is he gonna do pinch me with his claw?
probably a lot of mind spells.
What do we want? Like to look inside the boxes or something?
They want Delilah to go scout where the boxes are going to.
Okay. And it's a trick roll to
get him to focus on you, yeah.
Okay. Yes. I want to actually get his attention by asking him about this sword that I found.
All right.
And
So
just
you're trying to obfuscate what you were
so
trying to
it's a sincere question. I'm curious about this magical sword that I'm found, and I'm curious if he has anything. But the trick element of it is just that I am taking a really long time to do that, and telling him the whole story of how I found it.
All right. Go for it. Delilah, why don't you give me the invisibility spell check?
A natural one. Maybe I flourish the blade a little bit.
Like accidentally.
We're still going.
You don't feel like this is a good time to do that. He looks at you. Your secrets are yours. And my secrets are mine. It is probably best that we keep them separate for now. Now, however, if you would like to speak about the Delphi Council at this point, I would be willing to listen. Otherwise, I would recommend you get on your business. Your debt is still collecting interest.
Very well.
Delilah, what is your willpower or your mind?
My 9 is an 8.
Cool. All right. What's the plan? Bet 4?
Okay, question.
Yeah.
Riddle crystals.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Kowalski uses them to power his crazy gun. Does he also use them to heal things?
No.
Okay. What was a different thing? A creepy patch?
Yeah, he had
a
like flesh patches that when you
Okay.
slap them, they knit themselves into your flesh and create.
I think I got the two confused. Never mind.
Hey, Feargrounds, welcome. So this game, I will just take a quick break. This is Torg Eternity. It is a role-playing game put out by Ulisses Spiele. It is a game where it takes place on Earth, where Die Hard or John Wick is a documentary as opposed to an action movie. It's an action-heavy game, and it's invaded by other realities. We have the Living Land invades the east and west coast of the U.S. and part of Mexico, and it's a very low-tech kind of land of the lost. Dinosaurs have overlaid our reality. Isle has overlaid the UK and parts of Scandinavia, and it's a very fantasy, elves, dwarves, dragons, magic sort of thing. In France and parts of Europe, the cyber papacy has invaded, which is a religious cyberpunk setting with techno magic and cyber witches. Russia was invaded by Tharkold, which is a techno demon and biotech world. Think Hellraiser meets Mad Max. Orosh overlaid India and parts of that region, and it is a Victorian horror setting. Pan Pacifico, which is a Kickstarter that is going on, or just finished, backer kit hopefully will be opening soon, is in Japan, China, that area, and it is almost altered carbon, mecha tech suits, bioengineering, and then the Nile Empire overlaid the Middle East and North Africa, and it's 1930s pulp superheroes. And essentially, my players are playing Storm Knights who manage to take their reality with them wherever they go, and they are trying to stop this invasion, because it's not just an invasion of land, it's an invasion of ideas. And these other realities have overlaid ours and rewrote the reality in these regions. And the ordinary people there, their possibility energy was just drained away, and they don't remember being part of Earth. They think they've always been part of these other realities. And so the Storm Knights are in Istanbul, which is claimed by the Nile Empire and Tharkold, and they are going forward to attempt to stop that. So hopefully that was a good catch up. You can jump over to the Iconic Production YouTube channel if you would like to catch up on the episodes, but this is the first episode of a new arc, so this is a good time to jump in. All right. So
what are our goals in the Tharkold side? We need to...
Well, you are looking for a way into the Tharkold side because you don't... the Delphi Council has lost so much information on what's actually happening there.
Right.
You are to investigate. There apparently have been building a railway going north,
Right.
and there is a storm knight that is scheduled to be executed in the near future as a way to demoralize the people of Tharcold.
Okay.
And do I see backup steale network?
Yes, they have implanted a backup steale network, which if you could take out secretly before it is activated, then when you actually take out some of the steale, they would not have these backup ones to fall on.
So we actually have the glory still triggered for this act, right? Or did we...
Yes.
For this last act is the last act that the
So
glory
why
is
don't we take advantage of that
Yeah.
and make the knocking down the backup steale our
Wait,
main
if they're
part?
not activated, you don't need the glory to do
Oh,
that.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only need but if we can knock out the regular steale now before the backup ones are activated, even better.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
if we can't, then backup's also good. Okay, so yeah, if we have the glory, that applies to wherever we are. It's not just
That is
for that
correct. It's
cosmic
not
event.
localized,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
All right. And you are most welcome. Fear grounds. I wanted to make sure I read that correctly. All right, so to the cisterns, or do you guys want to do any other prep before you head out?
I always do my prep after heading out.
That's right. You do have that sweet.
We actually can all requisition things though.
What
at
do you-
the
what do you
start of
Could be useful in Tharcold.
Kowalski? Can I requisition?
You can
Kowalski?
requisition Kowalski. He will be here. That is
Radiation pellets, but that's a pretty standard. The Delphi Council just hands out radiation pills generally.
Okay.
all right.
Radiation pills.
To give
Ammo,
you
but
radiation?
those of us who need ammo should refill ammo. So Kowalski would be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you more Molotov cocktails.
Wow. Make a trip to the gas station and fill up one of those red
Too
red
rich for my
containers.
blood
If you're on
these
like a
days.
cute moped.
In the 1930s?
Yeah, 1930s prices. You probably are okay.
Yeah.
All right, Kaylee, is there anything Delilah would want to requisition? You made your bullets.
Yeah.
I think a fire team is a beta clearance option, but the group is climbing up into beta clearance.
Can the warden come? Can we?
Ooh. You can make a call from Zorba's safe house / mansion, which just keeps growing in our minds the longer we play. So
It's a
you
palace the size of Istanbul.
you get a hold of the warden as you guys are preparing to go down into the cisterns. You're going to Tharcold side? I've never been able to make it over the wall. Do you have a way in?
First of all, never say it. And we're gonna figure it out. That's your style.
All right. Well, if you have a way in, you let me know. I can be there just after sunset.
That's how it- Okay, cool. Thank you very much.
I will try and find you. Good luck. Are you going after that storm knight? I heard that it's whoever they kidnapped. It's not from Tharcold. Rumor has it that it's an Isle agent that they managed to kidnap. As for why they brought them to Istanbul, I don't know yet, but it's never a good thing to let any hero die, especially the way Tharcold ends people.
Definitely our priority.
All right?
So, this is the time at which I bring up the fact that I have already figured out a way to get into Tharcold, separate from the voice of the Headless, and that I think we should take that way instead. And then we can be certain that the voice of the headless is not tracking where we're going through or watching our comings and goings.
What's the other way?
We take my submarine.
What we saw? It's still alive.
What? Oh yeah, my submarine's still around.
I thought it was like below. No, there were weird openings.
There was a word that JM used for those openings, but yes.
Sphincters?
Yeah, that was the word.
That was the word. Yeah.
So my suggestion is we go in that way, and then the voice of the headless isn't keeping track of where we come or go if we're back in the town or back in the Istanbul side.
So it's like Fantastic Voyage, but instead of getting small, the butt got very big.
There would be nothing fantastic about this voyage. It would be the opposite of a fantastic voyage. It would be a terrible, terrible voyage.
I'm on board.
But at least
literally, I'm on board.
At least we can be sure that no one is watching us, as aware of where we go or come. So that's my suggestion. If Ben is still in the chat, I'll give him a vote too. See if he thinks we should do that. But
yeah, I mean, whatever.
All right, so you want to go in through the sub and try and get in through the sphincter.
This is a terrible, terrible sentence, but yes.
Is there a way? I don't remember much about when we scoped that out.
It was only me.
Yeah.
I don't remember much about when you scoped that out when I was sitting here.
You did not.
But should we potentially send something ahead of us?
So his plan was to take one of the bombs that they have mined the Bosphorus with and send it into one of the sphincters to cause it to blow up so that you can get through it.
I feel like Team Mom would really want, Team Mummy would really want us to maybe do the safer one of the cisterns, but
Explosively, Mr. Furious.
I feel like I will get outvoted on exploding these underwater sphincters.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm curious if Ben is cool with it.
Kowalski was there, and he would try and determine if he knew anything about the sphincter. I will fill in the data. I can't believe this is the discussion I'm having tonight. They are techno-organic.
Maybe we use a stealth bomb that we don't drop it. We scooch it in like a slider.
So there's no passcode. They are operated only. They respond only to the techno demons that have the right magic to get in.
Mm-hmm.
They are bioorganic, so they are technically alive. You saw the little iPods open.
Mm-hmm.
But you're pretty sure, even Kowalski is pretty sure, that a bomb would open it up. It would also alert. They would send out an alarm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what if Kowalski, if it's alive, what if Kowalski can just make friends with the sphincter? He made friends with me.
He is an aspirant, though. So.
That's true. An aspirant.
I'm gonna have something kicking the door here. Sure.
Yeah, so I'd imagine, okay, if this is also bio, is it kind of like everything's connected and is, if we blow this up,
it is a living wall.
Immediately?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh well. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's just go and buy the cistern, and we'll just save that as a last ditch if we ever need.
If we need a quick exit.
Yeah, if we ever need to really get into Tharkold and don't want to take, the cisterns
or blow your way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I like the idea of potentially leaving that way.
All right. Sounds good.
It can just be waiting for us right outside the sphincter.
JD and Mr. Furious both get possibilities for their potty humor. All right, now I will remind you, both players in chat, remember the things that get you possibilities in the Nile Empire are not the same things that will get you the possibilities in Darkhold.
Will you describe that again?
Yes. So in Nile Empire, I reward you guys for making quips and puns and heroic statements like "never say never," that sort of thing. That's because it reinforces the pulp heroic aspect of the Nile Empire, right? Things that we see in Indiana Jones movies, things that we see in The Shadow or The Phantom. In Darkhold, it is a completely different world. Right? The laws of this world are the law of domination. Let me just let you know what you guys are getting into. Remember, if you inflict a wound on somebody, you recover shock. This is kind of what the world laws reinforce as you're heading in here. So.
All right, did I fail them last time?
Did you what? Oh yeah, you guys are all healed up. It's a new adventure. So, things that the law of domination, whenever intimidate is an approved action, a success allows you to draw 2 destiny cards and choose the one that you pick. Outside of combat, the first time you intimidate a reality-rated foe, you automatically get a destiny card. The law of ferocity is the fact that the most ferocious, so the most intimidating, the most domineering, the most ferocious, these are the things that survive. And the law of pain, remember, a vril crystal absorbs the pain and the torment of the area, right? The Cur, their torment grid, their internet, is basically just a place where the techno demons keep records of all of the evil and cruel things they have done to themselves and each other. So a lot like Twitter, and so if you play into the horror, if you play into the domination, if you play into the ferocity, that will get you possibilities. And possibly even Darkhold possibilities. All right.
Cool.
JM,
Yes,
I made a reality roll, and I got a +2,
okay.
taking my score to 12. I wanted to see if I could overlay the information I already have about the cisterns with both the Nile Empire and the Core Earth reality and the Darkhold reality to see a clear path.
So,
but I only got a 12, but I have a willpower if a 15 will make it better.
A 15 will make it better. You don't know how far Darkhold has invaded down into the Earth. And the problem is, a lot of the cisterns were destroyed when Constantinople fell. Some of them have been rebuilt, some of them were survived, some of them have been buried. So, right on the Nile Empire side, most of them are intact. So you were able to kind of readjust the Nile Empire side. But until you actually go through and map them, but Zorba says he's got a map in here. I will provide you with... You will not get lost while you're down here, Brother Block. You essentially have the red string that will lead you back through the cisterns, even if something happens to Zorba's head.
I guess what I'm looking for, though, is a weak point or a shortcut that then Zorba can use his head map to verify.
Sure, I'll allow that. All right. So, as you all descend into the cisterns, they're like the entrance. You go to a city grate, you lift it up, you head down the stairs that are in there. You spend very little time in the sewers, getting into this old network of underground aqueducts, sluices, and cisterns, right? The cisterns are large enough that you actually, like, when you traverse them, they have stairs and paths around them. These things held massive amounts of fresh water. And at some point, as you cross one of these cisterns, you can see when you enter on the far, on the side that you're on, the water, you can see the water lines as they've kind of risen and lowered over the years. It is about 3/4 filled with kind of musty but still clean smelling water. And remarkably, not so much in Kit's mind or even Zorba's mind, but you know how old Istanbul actually is. The the stonework is remarkably in good shape, as if it's not as old or as damaged. But on the far side of this cistern, you can see this kind of faint glowing green light. You can see there are tendrils that have kind of worked their way in through the stone and cracked through the stone, and you get that sense that things are about to change. And so I'm going to ask Zorba to tell me when to cut or when to stop.
Cut.
Okay, you want me to cut it in half?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to give you the first one. And the reason I do this is because some of the Tharcold cards you don't have the choice to play. So everyone gets new Cosm cards. Yours is Supremacy, Brother Block. Did anyone have a card that says play immediately? Is it Torturous Visions?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Please read that for the group.
Okay, so I pulled Torturous Visions. Play immediately when drawn. The party experiences psychic flashes of grim potential futures. For the rest of the act, if fatigue appears on the conflict line, the characters are also stymied, and psionicists are very stymied.
So none of you are psionicists, so you are fine. But if ever you get fatigued from a drama card, you also are stymied, which is -2 to your action roll.
Am I immune to this as Mummy?
No, you still have a brain.
That's a bummer.
So, as you guys all go across, you all pass through the place where the two realities butt against each other.
No one has the psionics perk, right?
No one has a
Okay.
psionics perk.
Because that would have actually been cool.
Since she just played that, does she get a new one?
No, that's her one for the act, because some of the ones in Tharcold and in Orosh, to reinforce the horror, you don't have a choice to play them. But does anybody get like, you get possibilities or anything from this one, or
Only, all Storm Knights. Oh, no. All Storm Knights gain one possibility, or two if they have a psionics perk.
All right.
If y'all get one. Thank you.
all right? So Zorba, as you guys cross this reality for a brief moment, you have this weird vision of a very posh Turkish bar, but it looks like it has gone to seed. The service is deplorable, and really what makes it deplorable isn't just the fact that you basically have to intimidate your waiter into actually serving you, sort of like Ed DeBevick's if you've ever been there. But like the server that you witness here, you're sitting at a large bridge table. Only one person across from you. You don't see who your partner is. You don't see who the other person's partner is. The person on the other side is very pale. Eyes have no color to them. Just the two little pinpricks of the irises. You can see that his hair is thick and long because it's a fantasy game, and kind of cascades down. His clothes look like they used to be as nice as yours, but they've seen better days. And what really is the problem, you keep trying to get the waiter. He's walking around with a martini on his plate. But when he turns and looks at you, he has no skin or muscle on his lower mouth. It is just the jawbone that is working in ragged tatters of flesh.
The waiter?
The waiter. And you can kind of see that everyone in this place has been vivisected in some way. Kit, I don't know that I can inflict any more torturous vision on you than what I've already done in having Chad in your head. So, as you come across, you get this vision of once again being trapped in a sarcophagus. One, though, that seems to be rhythmically kind of crushing in and pulling out, almost as if it is masticating on the whole of who you are. And as you kind of scream, you punch free, and you can see that your left arm has been replaced by the arm of a techno demon. with a little Chad face that is screaming with you.
Oh.
I didn't give you any eyes.
I mean, just mean like I'd be okay with robot arm, but with Chad?
Yeah, sorry.
A techno Chad arm.
You cross, and you look down, and you can see a massive blade has impaled you all the way through, and it's at the end of an arm of a techno demon that its face looks like it's been stitched together, both of like cybernetics from different pieces and flesh from different pieces. And as you kind of cough, you can feel like blood pouring out of your mouth, but you can see a robed figure kind of looks like it's being pulled apart. There are tendrils attached to its ankles and its wrists, and you can hear it screaming. It's definitely a feminine voice, and the hood falls back, and you can see that there are two pointed ears. Whoever this person is, that you know that you had to save them, and you know that you failed. Brother Block, you go to call upon the Maker. You are surrounded by techno demons shining with light. And that's when you realize that the Maker is not God, but the Demiurge. He has been toying with you this whole time. And as you call upon your celestial magic, you instead sprout horns and fangs, and your skin ripples with blisters and techno horrific flesh. And you realize that you have fallen as far as Kowalski, nay, further, because Kowalski has at least climbed his way out of the pit. And you are welcomed into hell as a brother. And then you all step through and continue on your way toward Darkhold.
But now Zorba really wants a martini.
Yeah, definitely. So, you have three exits that you know in your head.
Mm-hmm.
You can come up right near that bar where the last Turk is.
Mm-hmm.
There's one that leads into sort of a market square, or at least it used to be a market square. And then there's one that comes along the north wall, the northwestern wall of the city. Where would you lead the group as you come through?
Well, our goal is, at this point, to try and use what we can of that glory and see if we can take out a steale, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we want to potentially get this real crystal back out of this guy's heart.
I mean, I'm okay with never actually paying my debts off. Just,
I'm worried they're all going to kill you a lot.
I'll just get in more debt to someone else to pay off that debt.
Smart.
Is how it will work.
You'll get a new credit card to pay off your old credit card.
Yeah.
The wall separates the two chasms, then the steale cannot be right next to the wall because the effect radiates.
So
if
what would take us?
So if we're looking for the steale, we can eliminate the wall choice.
So if you a backup steale?
We're looking for the main steale.
You're looking for a main steale.
Yeah.
I would come up in the marketplace then.
Marketplace
That's probably your best bet.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys want to go after an active steale.
Well, we got the glory. Why not?
They're really hard to, because it's not just like flipping a switch, right? It's
so.
Brother Block, would you like to step out of Brother Blockness and?
So Ben knows that certain things happen when you attack a steale, and it's cool. But we would have to get some pretty reality rolls to sever it. Like the very first thing that happens is that it summons Gospog. Mm-hmm. So even if no one is around and we roll up on it all happy and good, immediately Tharkold Gospog will show up. And then it gets worse as the longer it takes us to fix it, the worse it gets. So things keep showing up and keep trying to stop us from taking it out. But I'm down for shooting above our weight, punching up.
I might like to wait until we have Kowalski with us at least.
Kowalski will be there. If you want to go search out the steale, I will. You guys can find one.
I can be invisible while you guys fight off the people. If one person can take on a.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily planning on like going to attack the steale at
just,
this
like-
moment. I just meant we've got one act to take out
So
to
like
use
do,
his glory.
do some
Let's go
reconnaissance.
find where the steale is and like get a sense of it and
Ooh.
keep that on our radar. I mean, we
Do
blew
we-
up one of that guy's bases by accident.
We
Like,
did
if
do
we
that.
just spend enough time around the steale,
They'll probably explode.
yeah, something will happen
What
to
if,
it.
what if we heist it? What if now that we're now that we've got a plan,
We steal it.
we do the 4-step dramatic
Task
theme
resolution.
situation, the dramatic task resolution, and we pick up we decide on 4 things that will prepare us to go after the steale.
I like it.
All right,
That will set you guys up for attacking the steale.
that sounds great.
All right.
So find it, figure
Scout.
out,
Go for it.
get to, right.
Yeah.
Figure out how to evade its protection. Figure out how to disable it, and then weaken the nearby territory.
Oh, why don't we add like destroying the backup?
Yeah, let's
That's
do
part
that
of it.
first.
So like find it, destroy the backup, or
Find it. Find the link between it and the backup, because if it died, the backup would go live.
Mhm.
So there must be some connection. We find the first one. We use the first one to find the backup. We destroy the backup, and then we go back for the first one.
And figure out the protection, and then you guys would be there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unrelated question, just so we don't forget about this other important piece. When is our friend getting executed?
As far as you know, the announcement was set for sometime this week.
Okay, I feel like we should also do that too.
I would just have a hunch that they're gonna execute her in front of the steale. I mean, like you're gonna do that in a nice central location.
That would definitely be work in the Nile Empire. That would be the most dramatic place to execute her.
Yeah.
But all right, so what I need who is going to search for the steale, and once we have that, who is going to search for the backup? These would be find rolls, or unless you have something else that you can do.
I've got a 12 in find.
Find
All right.
mind. I've only got a 9.
Since he has like a map in his head, could he potentially assist me?
I would allow him to give you a bonus to that.
Okay.
So, first one is demons to some. Oh, heroes are fatigued, which immediately means that you guys are stymied on this first round as well.
Gross.
But it does have an A, a B, and a C. If one person wants to try and make 2 rolls at a -4 to find, you could try and get both of those steps done this round.
Do we want to do that?
Yeah. Why not?
So,
You've got a high mind.
All right,
so
go for it.
what do I do?
You're giving me a find roll.
Let's see. So
It's
let's
gonna be
give you
minus
some
4.
cards that you can use
Okay.
just in case something happens.
Oh, I have a immediately reattempt any action,
Ooh, that's
so that might be handy. So find roll.
Now, I will just let you know, dice added by possibilities this round. This is on the demons to some card. Do not add a minimum of 10.
That's fine.
Yee.
All right, Kit.
Okay.
So you're hoping for either a high roll, a 4, or a 7.
That's not terrible.
I think the 4s and 7 also only counts on spells.
Oh, yeah, your spellcasting. That's a good point. All right. So possibility.
Or immediately reattempt any.
You could play your second chance.
Yeah, I think I could play that after a mishap.
You play it.
I'm gonna second chance it.
Okay.
What's my assist giving her?
People get a +1 to the roll. Okay.
I don't know if you can give me possibilities.
Can't do that.
I think we can just trade cards. that one was a 17.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a +4 to my fine, so it's 16.
And your -4 that you're taking from,
So 12.
so a 12.
But then what is he getting me for assisting?
Oh, +1. So yeah, you're at the 13. All right, so
Do you want to spend a plus?
that is a
Ability?
normal success.
I have so few possibilities.
Will the supporting card take it up to a better success?
Yeah, a supporter will take her up to a good success.
Nice.
Excellent.
Thank you.
So, as you come up out of the cistern, things are getting weirder and weirder. You come up into an Istanbul that looks more like Escape from New York than it does like the Nile Empire that you come to. Some of the buildings have been definitely shelled. There are scorch marks. There are weird, again, cameras in here have like actual eyes mounted to them. There's a lot of surveillance going on. Most of the people here are dressed in like ash gray, like coverings. They're covering their face. Heads are up. But as you move through the city, Kit, you kind of tapping into all of the different cues and clues that you see. You've got a little bit of divination working for you. Zorba's like, hey, what's that over there? And you come to a building that, and you can see there are what you first take as gargoyles, which feels really weird to be in Istanbul, but are actually techno demons that are chained to the wall as they perch down and look. And the thing about steale is you always want to keep them hidden in some way. But you have a very good feeling that this is the building where the steale is. And you're actually able, through the use of find in your divination magic, to go back down to the cistern area. And you do find the backup steale. Now, I will share pictures next time, but steale, this is what a Tharkold steale looks like. I don't know if that's going to come through, but it's this one down here. It looks almost like a pillar designed by Geiger. And there is a tiny brain floating in that. So, that is step 1A and B. The next card is Hasta la Vista, baby. Ben, you're not here for Hasta la Vista, baby. Villains' reality tests for soaking damage this round would have had a -4 penalty. That was the time where you could just, waste villains. But C and D are on this track. So if you want Delilah to scout out invisibly, that could be the second roll. If you want to try, you'd also have to be the one to take out the steale, probably with help from Brother Block. Now, this is a backup one. This is not activated yet. This is the rumor that you are confirming. So you have completed one of your goals, that there is a backup steale network in Tharkold. They are entrenched.
Mm-hmm.
So, Delilah, would you like to be the one to take this action?
Sure.
All right, Delilah, give me a roll. It's going to be 1d20 roll, and you're going to subtract 2 from it.
Okay.
But you will get a bonus of 2 from Brother Block's hammer. What did you get?
3.
Oh, probably a possibility.
Are possibilities still only...
No, possibilities are back to being
Okay.
as. So if you roll less than a 10, you'll do this.
An 8.
So that'll be a total of 13, which is a +1. So how would you try to take this thing out?
Can I use my cool sword that I just got?
Yeah, you can definitely use your cool sword that you just got. Brother Block and Delilah, you guys watch as they just hack into this thing. At first, it doesn't look like it's doing a whole lot of damage, but as Brother Block is cracking the tough outer shell of metal, your sword seems to find the cracks and slip into them and draws blood and weirdly organic fluids until finally the light goes out and Brother Block Gallagher's the brain that seems to be controlling this thing. Now, what is that +2 to your... does that count? Will your invisibility spell go off as well?
Oh, yeah. +2 for...
Sorry, it would be a Night Ranger was just fantastic. Great reference, certified organic. What is your spellcasting ability?
Twisted
The
Sister.
skill is alteration for 14.
So with +2, that would be a 16. All right. As you guys reemerge onto the surface, and again, most of the people moving around here are avoiding everyone else. If you are not known to somebody here, they do not want anything to do with you, and especially you and you and you and you. You don't look Tharkoldian. You sort of stick out like sore thumbs. But Delilah, you managed to slip past the techno-demons, invisibly going into this thing, and you can see that it, while the building structure is intact, the inside has been, it looks like it's been chewed away by something with just massive teeth, and it has dug down into the ground. And you can tell that this building held some kind of religious significance before Tharkold got here, but you can't tell what it was because it looks like all of the markers of that have been literally eaten or dissolved with acid. And sitting in the ground among a field of wires, cables, and weirdly organic tentacles kind of spreading out from it, thrumming with power, is another one of those steale, like the one you just destroyed. But this one is activated. You can feel it in your fillings as your teeth are just humming with it. And you do hear something up above flapping, circling high above, but you can't get a good beat on it. But you know it's guarded, and you know the steale is here. And at this point, a big meaty hand lands on your arm, Zorba. As you turn, you can see it's Kowalski. Well, what are we doing here? And that's where we will end for tonight. And we will be back in 2 weeks to see if the group can take out a steale using their glory. Or will they win? Will they crush one of the steales and bring back maybe a little bit of reality? Or will they die horribly here and we will have a whole new cast in a couple of weeks? Who knows?
Or both.
I would like everyone who has possibilities in the chat to be here in 2 weeks when we do this, because I'm pretty sure the group will need it.
Yes, please.
But please also note we are off next week. We will be back. We will not be here on the 28th. We will be back on the 5th. And there's a lot going on. So, also at some point, to my lovely players here at the table, 3 of you will have the night off at some point in July. It'll be the week that you are gone, because we're going to have a very special B team reunion. So you could tune in and watch. But yes, the B team will be back in July. Ben sadly, or Ben wonderfully, you still get to show up because you are a member of the B team. And yes, I may have a couple of other special guests, so we will see how that works out. But sometime in July, I'm coordinating with the B team as we speak. To everyone who has jumped in the chat, thank you so much. All the ampersands, good to see you. Greg, as always. Ben, I'm glad that even though you are dying of an Orosian plague, you are still here to be a part of the team. And yes, Phantom, oh snap, B team. Now, I will also just say, for those of you who are a fan of the B team or Bureau G, know that I'm planning our annual Halloween game will be B team, possibly B team and Faites Five team up. Ooh! And we will be doing our annual Christmas episode of Bureau G at the end of the year. So, warning to Bureau G, you will be on call for Christmas. So, until next time, check out all the other great shows we have on the iconic production channel, almost said the Ulysses International channel. We have a great Deadlands game. We had our 3rd session last night. It was wonderful. The Torg game is always great. We do the behind the screens twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. And this Saturday, we're doing the next Grand Campaign episode. So check them out. Subscribe, like. If you go over to YouTube, leave a comment. We will always engage. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you all in 2 weeks. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay gaming. Have a good one.